Welcome to Four Corners News. We show all the perspectives.
I'm Annie Lynch from Westboro Baptist Church News, and here's tonight's top story.
And I'm Jason Chen from Grayville News, your local moderate news outlet. I hate this.
I'm Christy Chung from HS BuzzFeed.
Hey!
And I'm Dustin Garner from Comedic News Anonymous. We're not anonymous.
Today has been a huge win for religious liberty in the United States. Donald Trump's executive order signed in the beautiful White House Rose Garden allows people of all faiths protection from the federal government and gives back to them their freedom of speech, which they've long been awaiting. There has been a war on religion, and it has gone on for long enough. People of all faiths, especially of Christianity, have been silenced. Now they finally have a voice to speak out, and they can campaign for representatives that share their good Christian values. They are finally given more leeway for donations and contributions to those who will uphold their beliefs. Can you believe they weren't allowed to do that before? Thank you, sweet baby Jesus, for our new savior, Donald J. Trump. Additionally, religious groups and organizations are protected to have conscience-based objections to the preventative care mandate and the failing Obamacare disaster. Finally, they've had to comply with this mandate that contradicts the very foundation of their religion. Eggs are life. People of faith should not have to corroborate with killing babies. They are also protected to maintain their religious values and beliefs in their places of business. Finally, people aren't given the right to impose their unchristian values on everybody else. Religion is at the core of what makes us Americans and human beings. That's why it's in the very First Amendment in the United States Constitution. We still have a long way to go, and this executive order by far does not do enough, but this is such a great start. Religious liberty is at last being acknowledged and valued again, and our new president has been a huge influential figure in this new movement. And now to Jason.
President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to ease a ban on political endorsements by churches and religious groups. It will loosen a provision of the tax code that prohibits religious organizations from directly supporting or opposing political candidates. However, LGBTQ groups and human rights groups oppose the order. It will be known as the Executive Order on Promoting Free Speech and Religious Liberty and directs the Internal Revenue Service to provide regulatory relief to faith-based organizations that are tax exempt. A current provision in the U.S. federal tax code, known as the Johnson Amendment, allows churches to be investigated and their tax exemption stripped if they directly oppose or support candidates running for office. Few religious groups that are known to have lost their tax status for violating this law, despite many churches openly advocating for political causes and hosting candidates using their campaigns. And lastly, since President Trump cannot repeal the law without congressional legislation, he is directing the IRS to exercise maximum enforcement discretion to alleviate the burden of the Johnson Amendment. Back to you, Christy.
Donald Trump's executive order regarding religious liberty is too vague. To sum up the order, it basically says that the Attorney General shall, as appropriate, issue guidance interpreting religious liberty protections in federal law. We will not allow people in faith to be targeted, silenced, or bullied any longer, and we will never ever stand for religious discrimination. Yeah, okay, Trump. Civil groups speak up on their disapproval. They're afraid that a broadly worded order would immunize corporations and people that discriminate LGBTQ people and women. After Trump signed the order, the first lawsuit came from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Shortly after Trump's ceremony and before the text was released, both the ACLU and Center for Reproductive Rights indicate that they may sue over the order. The ACLU, however, later reversed course because the executive order signed was an elaborate photo op with no discernible policy outcome. For months, many had expected on the left and right that the order would offer protections for people and corporations with a religious objection to LGBT people and birth control. Speculation about what the order would say was based largely off of a draft version circulating this past winter. According to that leaked text, the order would block the federal government from retaliating against those who act or refuse to act based on their religious objections to same-sex marriage, transgender people, abortion and contraception, and sex outside marriage. And now to you, Dustin.
Well, Donald Trump is at it again. After Obama and the Democrats waged a war on Christianity for 8 years, our new president will help us get back on track. Trump wants to protect people of all faiths, unless, of course, you're Muslim, Jewish, or follow any other religion that isn't Christianity. The order itself loosens restrictions on religious groups endorsing political candidates, so now we can see which politicians are supported by God the most. It's probably just a coincidence that he tends to favor people on Donald Trump's side. The people on the left side of the spectrum, however, seem to oppose this order. Heretics. Likely because of the amount of wiggle room it gives to religious groups economically, especially when they're tax exempt anyway. A previous amendment, the Johnson Amendment, gives the government the power to investigate religious groups and possibly take away their exemption status. Trump sees this as a war on religion, a war on Christianity though, and weakens this in the order. Also, members of the LGBT community seem to be against this order, as it gives corporations more power to discriminate. You'd think the most pro-LGBT president wouldn't be the one to take away power from them, but we'll see what happens on that front. In addition, birth control advocates disagree as it would limit their access to them. Good thing there's always abstinence. In conclusion, this order really helps people of faith, as long as you're a conservative white Christian. God bless Donald Trump. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Four Corners News. Tune in next time.